Well, g'day and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the most incredible images from our community by awarding my 2024 photo awards. The awards were open to all my beautiful subscribers and I received over 440 entries, and I was absolutely blown away by all the images you submitted this year. There were 10 categories in total that people entered, and I'll list them here on the screen so you can see. And I'm going to go through each category, and I'm going to actually give a couple of highly commended and then a bronze, silver and gold. And then at the end of the video, I'll award basically the top 3 overall. Now, there's no prizes in today's video. It's purely a celebration of wildlife photography. It's so we as a community can look in awe and wonder at what everyone's captured this year and give us all motivation for heading out in 2025. All right, so let's get this thing started. The very first category is the get low category. I wanted to see images from a low perspective because that's what I'm always encouraging. Gives us that nice intimate viewpoint with the birds. And I have to admit, I got a lot of entries in this category, which makes me happy that people are listening to me and getting down nice and low. So the first highly commended image actually captures amazing behaviour of 2 grouse competing at a lek in Scotland by photographer Sashin. So the low angle's given us this intimate viewpoint. The detail is fantastic. Overall, it's a cracking image. And this is an image of pure dedication. He said he got up at 2 a.m, travelled for a few hours, then set up in camo at 4 a.m, and then waited up to 5 hours for the grouse. And that's some serious dedication, but that's often what's needed, and the reward is clear here. I do want to apologise straight up for my pronunciation of names. There's a lot of names here which I don't know how to say, so I apologise profusely if I get your name wrong. So the second highly commended image was by photographer Olche, was the stunning shot of a flock of flamingos pre-dawn in Turkey, resting before the day ahead. He's made a big effort getting to that location well before sunrise and setting up, allowing him this shot. In his words, he liked the image because the flamingos look like unbloomed flowers with their necks and heads. And I agree, this image is just really interesting to look at. Your eye you just hover over all these birds and it's just amazing, and I'd love to see this scene. So a wonderful image. All right, so it's time for our bronze image and get low. And this is an image which I would love to take. Anyone who follows this channel knows that I love shorebirds. So when I saw this shot of a sandling and breeding plumage by Simon taken in Scotland, I was just in love with the composition. I love the pose, I love the detail. The seaweed in the background gives us some scale, it gives them some context. The colors all work together. Overall, I was just, really, really happy to see this image. I wish I'd taken it myself. So well done, Simon. I absolutely love that. So the silver award goes to Ville of his wonderful image of a common coot in the snowing cold waters of Finland. I love this image because it highlights how with a low angle, composition, habitat, we can create such compelling images of even the most common species. The snow and the color palette obviously lifts this image a lot, and the mood it creates is just fantastic. I really like this one. And that leads us to the gold award for Get Low, and it goes to Alan for his absolutely stunning image of a pair of sandlings taken in Ireland. Alan got down low in the wet sand and was photographing the birds when they took flight, and he managed to track them as they flew, capturing this outstanding image. Capturing shorebirds in flight is no easy feat. It's very, very difficult. And the fact we've got opposing wing positions, we've got 2 birds, I like the crop, I like the colors. Everything about this image just appealed to me, and that's the reason it got this gold award. All right, that moves us on to the next category, and it's not a bird. So obviously I predominantly photographed birds, but I wanted to see all these other amazing species that we have on this planet, and you didn't disappoint. You've submitted so many amazing images in this category. It was very hard to pick the photos that appealed to me the most, but let's get started. The first highly commended image is just a beautiful image. It just makes you smile when you see it. And it took my breath away with its color and its beauty. And it's of this spice bush swallowtail butterfly feeding on flowers by Geoffrey Robbins. The butterfly in combination with the flowers, the composition, just make the image strikingly beautiful to look at. What this photo also highlights is the incredible opportunity we have to provide habitat for wildlife by planting lots of different flowers and plants. And Geoffrey and his wife Kelly do that every year. And you can see in this photo of their garden, it's just lovely. And if we could all do this in our own gardens, we would definitely help all these species out. So the second highly commended image definitely made me smile when I saw it, just due to the uniqueness. Elias captured this fantastic shot of a fox squirrel hanging from a tree in Indiana, USA. I just really love the pose here and the colors and the background. They all complement each other. And with the subject, it just makes a compelling overall image to me. And that moves us on to the bronze award. And this image, when I saw it, I went, whoa, and I was just staring at it because I've never seen this before. It was this incredible looking green lynx spider by Adrian. He took it in the US. He was looking for some carnivorous plants when he spotted these spiders, and using a macro lens, he's captured this stunning shot showcasing the amazing colors and just the overall look of the spider. The leaf definitely complements the spider well, and overall it was a really pleasing image. So the silver award for Not a Bird goes to Gary for his wonderful shot of a brown anole taken around Miami in the US. I just find this image so intriguing and inviting, as you have to look for the subject. It's so well camouflaged that it just blends in. And we've got this intimate view of its little habitat. We've got the mushrooms there. It's just unique because I haven't seen it before, and it just gives us this different perspective, and I really, really like that. And that leads us on to the Gold Award for Not a Bird. And this image is just spectacular. And if I was to say to you, think of an image of some zebras migrating, what would come to your mind? What sort of image would you want to capture? And that is exactly what Peter's captured in this image. It is just so good for so many reasons. You've got the setting sun, you've got the muted colors, you've got the inclusion of habitat, we've got multiple zebras walking towards the camera. I like how it's layered there. It's just, oh, your eye just wanders around the image. Just a sense of calm and serenity, and it's just fantastic. You should be very proud of this image, Peter, because I absolutely love it. But the under 18 category is the next category, and it's the one that brought me the most joy. It's just so nice to see young people out with their cameras and taking photos. Before I launch into the awards, I just want to share with you an email which I got, which was quite humbling and brought a massive smile to my face. This is from a father, Kaysan. He sent me this email. He said, "Watching your videos has become a special family moment for us. My daughter and son both thoroughly enjoy them, learning and feeling inspired each time. My son especially loves you so much that he tries to mimic you. He often lies on the ground trying to capture birds from low angles, which is sometimes funny to watch." And you can see in this photo here he is employing great technique, getting down nice and low. His name is Sisala, and he's been taking photos, and here's a photo of a parakeet. Well done, that's an amazing image. And his sister, Sulini, who's also got out, and you can see her laying low here, and I've got an image from her later in the video which I will share. All right, let's have a look at the first highly commended image, and I suspect they've been watching my videos because this is the exact type of photo that I suggest we should be trying to take. And this is an image taken by Cam of a red-backed fairy wren taken in Queensland, Australia. This image represents everything I talk about. It has the inclusion of habitat with the vibrant green grass and background, coupled with lots of space around the image. Composition is bang on, and the grub in the mouth just tops off this spectacular image. What makes this even more impressive is he took it with really affordable gear. The next highly commended image was taken by George, who's 16, and it's very similar to the previous image. We've got a bird in its habitat, we've got a little grub in its mouth, and just the overall composition works, and it's a wonderful photo. And this again was captured on a pretty old camera. And the final highly commended image is an image that is just very, very unique, and it stands out because of that. And it's this image of a pied stilt by Matthew Wu from Brisbane in Australia. And it's just so unique. The light, the pose, the composition, it's so interesting that it just holds your attention. The backlighting has made this a wonderful image that Matthew should be very proud of. And it's also got a really good, great low angle. There's just so many good elements in this image, so well done. And that leads us on to the Bronze Award for under 18. And this image is going to appeal to a lot of people just because of how beautiful it is. It's a photo of a yellow-fronted barbet by Sanduru of Sri Lanka eating a jambu fruit taken in his backyard. And I just think this image is wonderful. It has that immediate impact when seeing it with the beautiful colors of the bird, the behavior of the bird feeding, and just the overall complementary setting. The lighting is really good here, where we've got light on the bird and it's darker on the outside. It just draws us into the image, which makes it so powerful. And that leads us to the Silver Award. And this was a really hard decision because both these next images were just absolutely outstanding. The image that got silver is just so special. It was taken by Matthew Wu again, his second image, and it's of a sulfur-crested cockatoo. This is one of those images where you have to stop and stare and try and work out exactly what's going on. Our attention is of course drawn to where the light hits the head of the bird and up the crest, and then we work out it's a side-lit shot of a cockatoo, and the contrast of the darkness and the light just create a very intriguing image that I just love. So well done, Matthew. You've definitely impressed me with your images, and I'm sure I'll be seeing a lot more of your work in the future. And that leads us on to the Gold Award for the under 18 category. And this is an image that I would love to capture myself. It was an image that immediately appealed to me because it's my style. It's exactly what I try and shoot when I go out to the field. Beautiful white-cheeked honeyeater shot by Micah at Port Macquarie in Australia. And if you've followed the channel, you know exactly why I love this image. We have beautiful warm backlighting coupled with a fantastic setting of native Banksia. The bird sits so well in the frame. We've got ample space to breathe. Just overall a wonderful image. And this is the exact type of image I would envisage if I visited that location. Just gives me that sense of serenity and peace, and just I love everything about it. The next category is under 2000 US for the camera and the lens, and another category that I really love because it just goes to show that you don't need expensive gear to get amazing shots. So the first highly commended image is this amazing macro of an Asian lady beetle by Gavin in California. The setting and detail captured is just amazing and is a genre of photography that I'd love to do at some stage. Gavin used second-hand Olympus gear and has been very happy with the results, as he should be. The detail on this is just fantastic. I like the overall feel of it, the colors. It just works in my opinion. The second highly commended shot goes to Florian of this wonderful shot of a spotted owlet whilst he was visiting Bangkok in Thailand. I just love the composition of this shot. The bird really pops and it's surrounded by this nice green vegetation which frames the bird well. I love those big eyes, and this was taken on the wonderful RF 100-400 Canon lens. And next is the Bronze Award, which goes to Matt of this wonderful image of a common yellowthroat captured in the wetland in the US. I just love the habitat in this shot. The setting's just fantastic. I haven't seen this before. I like the pose of the bird. The perch is interesting with all the moss on it. I just love the overall feel of it, and it makes for a really nice shot. And this was also taken on the RF 100-400, showing what a great value for money that lens is. Now the Silver Award goes to the young 12-year-old girl I just showed earlier, Sulini, and this is a cracking image. And imagine being 12 and taking this image. You should be so proud of it. I absolutely love this shot of a swan and a coot in amazing early light. I just love everything about it. The warmth, the pose of the swan, having that second bird adds interest. And this shot was captured on a reliable Canon 750D in a really old 300 f4. And it just makes me smile that a young person with affordable gear is getting out into the field and capturing images like this. It's just, I wish I was doing it at this age, so well done. Really, really good job. And that leads us on to the Gold Award, which is an extremely impressive image taken by Michael. It's this wonderful scene of manta rays in the Maldives. There's something special about this image for me. It's the composition, the placement of all the rays, and it just makes it interesting to the viewer and holds our gaze. What makes this image even more impressive is that it was captured on a DJI action cam, showing you don't need the most expensive underwater camera to capture an image like this. So the next category is for beginners. That's anyone who started wildlife photography in the last 2 years. And again, I was very impressed with all the entries. It's amazing to see how quickly people progress in such a short amount of time. So the first highly commended image goes to Russ with his wonderful image of a prothonotary warbler catching a spider for lunch in California. The timing on this image is just fantastic. The fact Russ has managed to time the shot exactly as the bird has approached the spider. We've got the spider web in front, the bird sharp, the spider, everything comes together to create an absolutely fascinating image that I enjoyed looking at. So thank you very much for that. The second highly commended shot was taken by Danae of a red kite in the UK. I just love the overall feeling of this image. We have the kite soaring over its habitat in very late light, and I just get transported to the location as if I'm there. He stated that they were completely out of breath when they tracked this kite across these fields, so I'm happy that you managed to get this shot, and what a wonderful reward for all that effort. Just a really great image. And that leads us on to the Bronze Award for beginners, and this goes to Stefan for this wonderful image of a red-winged blackbird displaying in Florida, US. He started his journey in January this year and has really progressed quickly, capturing fantastic behavior in this shot. The pose, the wing position, the detail, it's all excellent. And you know, it's just wonderful to see images like this. And the Silver Award for beginner goes to Bruce for this action shot of a black swan flapping its wings in Auckland, New Zealand. I just love the action with the water droplets, the contrast of the white feathers on the black bird with the dark background. It's just the pose and the setting that really makes this image stand out. And that leads us on to the Gold Award for beginning. And this image just took my breath away when I saw it. And that was this image of a red fox taken by Jesper in the forests of Sweden. I just love this image. It could easily be the cover of a book or a painting on the wall. The overall composition with the fox just resting with the side light surrounded by the forest. It's just something special. It elevates it to like a fantasy type image. It evokes a lot of emotion, and that's absolutely key, and that's why it's got the Gold Awards. And that leads me to possibly my favorite category, and that's small and habitat. That's where the habitat is the star and the subject's sitting within that habitat. And this is one of the most difficult photos to capture, and the amount of amazing photos I got was just great. And I'm happy to see so many people sort of embracing this style of photography and getting out there and trying to capture it, because it's just a lot of fun when it comes off. First highly commended image, and this one is just, well, I can't keep saying these words enough, that it's just awesome. It's just really, really good. It's a shot of this Annis hummingbird by Reginda, taken in Richmond, Canada. You can't help but smile in the awe of the beauty of this bird. The pose is just wonderful, with the wings out, the overall scene, the colors, the space. We see a lot of hummingbird images. This one just feels unique and different, and I think it's because it's smaller in the frame. It's because it's got space to breathe, and it's just overall just what a wonderful image. Now the next image exudes something that I'm always trying to capture, and that is mood. It's very difficult sometimes to capture mood, but this image of a European kingfisher by Dennis has it in spades. In his words, he said, "It's peace, it's nature, and it's life." For me, this meant a lot. I can still recall the day and excitement I felt when I took it. And that's exactly how I feel when I see this image. It's just, oh, there's just something about it. You know, sometimes you just can't put your finger on it, but mood, I think, explains it well. And the last highly commended image was this image by Wouter of a bearded reedling. And I can't help but think that this bird is floating on a fluffy cloud. The muted tones of the background and the habitat match the bird, making this such a warm, wonderful image. And it just makes you smile. The composition is just excellent, and of interest, he stated that he took lots of close-up shots, but it was this wider shot, including more habitat, that was really special to him. And I totally agree, and it's a really good lesson for all of us, is that when we're shooting up nice and close, if you do have a zoom lens, zoom out and just give it a little bit more space. If you've got a prime, maybe take a few steps back. All right, time for the bronze award, and these next three images are just spectacular, and there's very little between them. And this image that got bronze by photographer Ville of a common reed bunting in Finland, there's something enchanting about this image. The warm color, the flowers, the composition, and the bird sitting in its habitat come together to create a unique and interesting image that just demands attention. And this is exactly what it did to me. Just amazing. How did you feel when you saw this image? Did you get lost in it? I definitely got lost in it, and that is what I love about an image. So incredible. Now the award for silver in this category is an image I've already shared on this channel before, and it's this amazing image of an American bison by Caden. This image just ticks all the boxes for me, in that it's got lots and lots of habitat that just makes you get lost in the vastness of it. We go through the layers of the background, we can see the subject walking through the scene. This is exactly what I mean by, you know, subject and habitat. It's just got everything we would ever want. And I've gone on about this image before, but well done, Caden. It's just an awesome image, and hopefully you've got it printed already hanging on the wall. And that leads us to the Gold Award, and this image again just makes you stop and stare. It's so good. The image is this wonderful black and white image of a yellow-billed oxpecker by Juliana on a trip to Botswana in Africa. Choice of black and white coupled with the light, the textures, and the overall composition make this an absolutely stellar image. This is an image that you just stare at. It invites us in. It's that relationship between this tiny bird and this massive buffalo which creates a lovely story. So before I move on to the next category, I was going to give an award for the very smallest subject in the frame. I thought just for fun I'd share the one that had the smallest subject, and it turns out that it was a three-way tie. I've got three images where the subject is absolutely tiny, and I'll quickly share them with you now. First was Ryan starling on a bison. This is a lovely image where the bird really is tiny, but I love the overall scene and feel of it. Next was this stone chat by Nicholas, which really is a small bird in the frame. It's perched in a meadow in the pouring rain, and I do love this overall feeling. We could see how small the subject is. And finally, we've got a bald eagle surveying its territory by Mark. And this is just another excellent image displaying a lot of habitat. And all three images show that we can create amazing photos where the subject is quite small on the frame. So the next category is a style that I've recently been doing quite a lot, and it's bringing me a lot of joy, and that's silhouettes. If you haven't tried it, you need to. Just go out there, shoot with some backlighting, change your settings, and just get creative, because it's really rewarding when it pays off. Let's start with the first highly commended image, and that was the shot of a deer by Bartolomeu in Slovakia, taken in the very early morning. I love how we have plenty of space showing this king of the forest looking into its surroundings, and the silhouette clearly showing the deer with its horns. Overall, a very successful image. So the next highly commended image was an image by Dave of a black-necked stork, and this image is pretty remarkable as it was actually captured on an iPhone 15. Dave was on a tour on a billabong in Northern Australia when he spotted the stork flying by and didn't have a chance to grab his proper camera, so he simply took a photo on his phone. And as Dave said, perfect example of the best camera is the one in your hand. And I totally agree. Well done, Dave. To capture this image with your iPhone is just spectacular. Next is the Bronze Award, and this goes to Steve for his wonderful action shot of an Australian darter taking off in beautiful backlight. Steve had this shot in mind when he saw the darter and was thrilled when the bird took off and he captured that exact moment in time. I just love the light, the behavior, the overall uniqueness, the wings, just everything about this image help it to stand out. Next is the Silver Award, and I reckon this is an image that all of us as photographers have dreamed about if we were to ever go to Africa. Think about what type of backlit shot would you want to take. And for me, Juliana's absolutely nailed it when she captured the exact moment an elephant is walking under the rising sun with an amazing sun reflection off the water. The composition is just wonderful. And I think it's just to dream of it is one thing, to execute it another. And she's definitely done that. It's just spectacular. And I just love this image. And that leads us to the Gold Award for Silhouette. And this image again is just spectacular because how difficult it is to achieve. Here is the incredible image of a European stone chat by Joe from the UK. Joe tells me this bird has a genetic mutation where half of her feathers are white instead of dark brown. Most photos of the subject are with the sun hitting the bird, but Joe thought outside the box and devised a plan to get a backlit shot showing the sun coming through the white wings. To say he succeeded is an understatement. This image is truly remarkable, and a full credit to you, Joe, for having the vision, having the creativity to go out there, plan a shot, and then execute it. It's just fantastic. So I just found this feather in front of me with a sulfur-crested cockatoo. That's pretty cool. All right, so the next category is for best member shot. And if you're not aware, you can support this channel directly. It costs less than a cup of coffee per month, and you become a member. You get a little emoji next to your name, and I send private messages and ask for photos and engage with my members that way. If that's something you'd be interested in doing, there's a join button below this video or a link, and I definitely appreciate all the support. So this category is for all those members that directly support me, and for that I'm extremely grateful. So the first highly commended image is this wonderful image of 3 puffins by member Harry. It was taken in Wales. I just really like the composition, the muted colors. There's just something very interesting in having the 3 birds in the image, and you just want to stare at the birds, and it's just a great representation of that species. So the second highly commended image is this wonderfully detailed Nanking kestrel by member Dave from Queensland. The detail on the shot is just incredible, and the stare from the bird sort of goes straight through you. The colors in the image all complement each other, making for an extremely nice photo. I just love the pattern detail on the bird and the fact we can stare at that. It's just great. Now the Bronze Award goes to member Gary for this dynamic flight shot of a pair of common yellowthroats in Wisconsin and USA. The timing on the shot coupled with the detail is just wonderful. You can't help but marvel at the beauty of flight with this shot. Well done, Gary, for even capturing this. I know how difficult this must have been. So you must have been stoked when you saw it, had all that detail. The pose is wonderful, an excellent image. The Silver Award goes to member Dan for the serene capture of a western cattle egret in breeding plumage. Dan stated the species is not very common around Maine, and he has done a wonderful job capturing it in this warm, complementary habitat. I just like the pose, color, and overall feeling of the image. It just all comes together for me, and this is what we hope for when we go out into the field. And that leads us to the Gold Award for the best member shot, and it goes to member Mark for the stunning shot of a displaying greater sage grouse in Wyoming in the US. The image is just very unique and grabs your attention as it's not something you see very often. These males inflating and deflating their air sacs, spreading their tails and strutting about trying to attract females, and to capture this behavior is fantastic. The low angle, pose and detail all add to the shot. So well done, Mark, an absolutely cracking image. The next category is best behavior, and this is by far the most competitive category. There were so many wonderful entries, and capturing behavior is key to wildlife photography, and that's what it's all about. So I'm very happy to share these images with you. The first highly commended image is an image by Simon. He captured this northern gannet around the UK, diving into the water, trying to get these fish, and if you look closely you can see all the little fish trying to avoid this gannet under the water. So it's the composition that he's captured here, this unique perspective, just everything comes together to capture some truly wonderful behavior. So the next highly commended shot, the incredibly detailed shot of a capercaillie by Bartolomeu in Slovakia. During breeding season, the male's put on a display and he captured that behaviour wonderfully. The detail in the bird is fantastic. That spread tail, the mountains in the background. I can only imagine how beautiful it was there as he was capturing this image. So the bronze award goes to Steve for the stunning flight shot of a New Holland honeyeater feeding on a grass tree. The timing in this shot is superb, with the wings up and the tongue actively feeding on the nectar. I also like the wider crop, including more of the flower. An image I could easily see myself trying to capture. The silver award goes to Joe for this spectacular flight shot of a red-footed falcon capturing a dragonfly in flight. I can't imagine how stoked he was when he realized he got this shot. The behavior is just fantastic, and the timing to nail this shot is just very difficult, and it's incredible, and what an opportunity. I think all of us would love to capture an image like this. And that leads us to the gold award for behavior, and this goes to Florian for his wonderful image of a little owl with its prey in Germany. This image captures the beauty of the owl with those stunning eyes. The detail's excellent. The fact it's got its prey is wonderful, and this is a stopping point on its way to feed its young. So overall, it just shows us the circle of life, I suppose, that this owl has captured this mouse to feed its family, and it's just an intimate viewpoint and viewing of this behavior, and that's what it's all about. You've captured this wonderfully, an excellent image. And the last category is the funniest category. It's the ones that make you smile, it's the one that makes you laugh out loud, and I definitely did when I received all these images. Before I start, I want to share a photo that was actually submitted for this funniest category, and it actually made me smile because John submitted this photo of him and his two kids out in the field, down nice and low. John said his son Ben is 14 and his daughter Sophie is 8. They both love their photography. So Ben managed the shot of a duckling during that shoot, and I think this is fantastic. And Sophie often gets out with her little compact camera. She captured this 6-spot burnet moth, showing us all how to take wildlife photos. So well done, Sophie. And thanks, John, for sending me that image. It always makes me happy to see young people out with their parents enjoying wildlife. So the first highly commended image is this puffin shot by Will, taken in the UK. He titled the image, "This is the Wrong Party." And I totally agree. I think we can all relate to being the odd one out at times, and this photo captures that feeling perfectly of being in the wrong place at the wrong time or wondering where all your mates are. So a really funny image that made me smile. The second highly commended image also made me laugh, and it was the shot by Ryan of an American bison using its tongue in an interesting way. I just love how photography can freeze these funny moments in time. And Ryan said it's funny how these majestic, huge creatures can have such a funny side. The bronze award goes to Rajat for this incredible image of a common kingfisher sitting on a no fishing sign. He obviously set this up and made the most of this opportunity, and the detail in it's fantastic. The vision, the creativity, everything about it just made me smile. So the silver award goes to Mark for this really great shot of a pink cockatoo. What does it look like it's doing to you? When I saw this, I couldn't help but think that this pink cockatoo was trying to do a chin-up, trying to do multiple chin-ups, but all it was doing is trying to play on this wire as cockatoos do and just trying to get its balance. But the timing of the shot just makes you smile because he's timed it perfectly. So well done, Mark. I really enjoyed that image. And the gold award for funniest image goes to David for this tree swallow. I'd love to hear what you thought when you saw this image. For me, it's like it's defending its fence post. It's just letting everyone else know that this is mine. It just looks so angry, and its expression is just wonderful, and it definitely made me laugh and is a worthy winner of that award. Before I award the overall winner, I just want to say it's humbling and inspiring to see so many amazing images by our community. These images are going to make me want to get out into the field in 2025, and I hope it has the same impact on you. All right, without further delay, let's award the final 3 awards. The bronze image for the 2024 Photo Awards goes to Peter for his migrating shot of zebras and in the not a bird category. This image is just beautiful, and I could stare at it all day long. For me, when I think of a photo I would like to capture, this is it. It's just the environment, the warm light, just everything about it comes together to create an amazing image. And Peter, you should be very, very proud of this image. Thank you for submitting it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the silver award goes to this incredible black and white oxpecker image of Juliana. I absolutely love this image. There's just the behavior between the two. You've got the small bird, the large buffalo, the black and white, just everything about it, the textures, it just ticks so many boxes. I'm in love with this image. If you haven't got it on your wall, you definitely need to. Just well done, an amazing image. And that leads us to the Gold Award. It was the image that had the biggest impact. It was the image I couldn't stop looking at, the image that left me in the most amount of awe. And without a doubt, it goes to Alan for his amazing shot of a pair of sanderlings in flight. I can't emphasize how difficult it is to capture a shot like this. Shorebirds move so quickly through the frame. The fact that he's got opposing wings, the nice low angle, the detail, everything about it just makes me in awe and smile. And I showed my wife and she said, this has got amazing ombre. And I thought, ombre? I don't even know what that means. So I looked it up and it's the blending of colors. And she's exactly right. It's the color palette. You just look up and down this image and you're just going, wow, this all just goes together. It just works. The behavior, the low angle, it's just incredible. It's giving me motivation and inspiration for next time I'm out in the field with shorebirds. This is the exact type of shot that I'll be trying to capture. Well, that brings the 2024 Photo Awards to an end. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing all the images. I thoroughly enjoyed giving the awards. Let me know in the comments which images spoke to you, which images did you really enjoy. If you're interested in joining the 2025 award competition, take some amazing photos next year, and I'll send out a post around December, early December next year, so be sure to look out for that. And enjoy your holiday season, enjoy your family, enjoy the food. Hopefully you'll get a chance to get out with your camera and take some photos. I'm looking forward to 2025. Thanks again for all the wonderful support, the community, everything about this channel just makes me happy, so thank you for that. So happy birding, take care, and see you later. Now, if your image wasn't featured in today's awards, it doesn't mean that it was a bad image, and I enjoyed looking at all of them. It just meant I found other photos more to my own personal taste. So don't be discouraged if your photos don't appear in this video.